All right, diving into the crypto world today, we've got the Pi network,
Right.
and it's officially launching its Open Mainnet.
Big day.
Yeah, big day, and we've got a whole bunch of articles, Times Now, News 24, the Economic Times, even a Trading View analysis.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to break this down, try to figure out what it all means.
It's interesting. Pi Network, they've been kind of shrouded in mystery.
Yeah.
Operating in a closed network, facing, some skepticism.
Right.
And yet, the public attention around this launch, it's unlike anything I've seen, really.
Yeah, for sure. Google searches Pi Network, they've gone through the roof.
Yeah.
And the app downloads are, they've even surpassed like Facebook and Instagram at some point.
Are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what's driving all this, Is it just the chance to get in early on something that could be big?
Maybe. I think it's, there's got to be an element of that. Like the idea of a cryptocurrency, just using your phone.
Yeah.
That's appealing.
Yeah.
Accessible. Anybody can get in on it.
Right.
But there's also a ton of speculation driving this, like a frenzy.
Right.
You see the IOU trading. Suggests a price between $61 and $70.
Yeah.
And then you get these some projections saying it could be like $331 by March 2025.
Yeah, and you see these wild predictions, right? People throwing around the numerical value of pi, $314,159.
Someone's having a little fun with their calculator, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
But you got to remember that IOU price doesn't mean anything. Not really. It's just speculation.
Right.
The real test is going to be when pi hits those open exchanges.
Yeah, and speaking of exchanges, the reaction's been all over the place.
A real mixed bag.
So we got like OKX, Bitget, Bitrue,
wow,
XTX, BitMart, all listing Picoin.
At launch.
Right, at launch, yeah. Bitget's even doing like a $60,000 Pi airdrop, to sweeten the deal.
Wow.
But then you've got Binance, the big dog.
Right.
They're taking a wait-and-see approach.
Right.
Yeah.
It's unusual for them.
Yeah, they're going to have a community vote, actually, to decide whether to list Pi.
That says something. It's like they're not sure, are they?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then there's HTX, right? They actually delisted the Pi Network's IOU token.
Oh, wow.
Leading to a 50% price drop.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, what does all this tell us? All this excitement, hesitation. What does it tell us about Pi?
I think it speaks to that uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
Like, is it legit? Can it play in the big leagues of crypto? I don't know. We need to dig a bit deeper, I think.
Yeah, let's dig into Pi itself.
Right.
One of the big things they talk about is their mobile mining model.
Right.
You don't need any fancy hardware.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill your battery. That's a big change from the old way of mining already.
Yeah, for sure. And that plays right into their focus on community, building it up.
Right.
Their mining system, it rewards you for bringing people in, getting them involved.
Yeah.
It's an interesting system for sure, but it does raise some eyebrows.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy, but will it work long term, right? Some people say, this referral system is like a pyramid scheme. What's Pi Network say to that?
They say it's about, incentivizing growth, building the network, and that KYC verification, it keeps things honest, prevents manipulation.
Right.
But yeah, to really succeed, they've got to overcome some big hurdles, right? Regulatory stuff. And can they really be decentralized?
That's a good point. We'll be getting into all of that and more in the next part of our deep dive.
Yeah, lots to unpack.
Stay with us. Okay, so a lot of hype, but we got to think, is it going to last?
Right.
For our listeners out there who've been mining Pi, wondering what this Open Mainnet actually means for them, let's get into that.
Yeah.
So first things first, right? You got to do that KYC verification.
Right. Yeah. If you want to, move those Pi coins like to an external wallet.
Yeah.
Or maybe trade them on an exchange, you got to do that.
We talked about the privacy stuff, right? With KYC.
Yeah.
Some people, they're not crazy about sharing all that personal info, especially with a platform that's still kind of new.
Yeah, I get that. It's understandable. Pi Network says it's, it's about preventing fraud, making sure everything's legit.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's a personal choice, right?
Yep.
Got to weigh those risks.
So let's say someone's done the KYC.
Okay.
They're ready to jump into this Open Mainnet. What can they actually do with their Pi right now?
Well, if they're looking to trade it, they got to wait.
Yeah.
Got to wait for those exchanges to list it.
Right.
Like we said, some have. But, the big one, Binance. Who knows?
And even if Pi gets listed on the big exchanges, no guarantee the price is going to stay up there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's always possible that once the hype dies down a little, the price could drop.
Yeah, supply and demand, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the market for you. So, what about folks who aren't in it to trade? Like, what can they actually do with their pie?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
So Pi Network, they've got this vision, right? They see Pi being used for all sorts of things.
Uh-huh.
In the digital world, the real world, buying stuff, and there's already developers building apps on the Pi blockchain.
Yeah, like that Pi browser, right?
Yeah.
That mobile browser integrated with the whole Pi thing.
Yeah.
And there's others like social media, e-commerce.
Yeah, lots of stuff in development.
The question is, will people actually use them?
Right.
That's the big one.
It's one thing to build it, but will they come? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where the regulatory stuff comes in.
Uh-huh.
If Pi Network can get the green light from the big regulators, it gives them more credibility.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Without that, it's hard to see them going mainstream, getting that widespread adoption.
So for our listeners who are maybe, feeling a little lost in all this,
Yeah.
what's the bottom line? What should they take away from all this?
Don't get caught up in the hype. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Do your research, understand the risks, and please don't put in more money than you can afford to lose.
Good advice.
Yeah.
This isn't about getting rich quick.
No.
It's more like an experiment, right? How does cryptocurrency evolve?
Yeah.
Pi Network, they're trying something new. Mobile mining, this social thing, a different consensus mechanism.
It'll be interesting to see where it goes. I mean, will it be a breakthrough or will it just fade away? Who knows? Yeah, the next few months, they'll be crucial for Pi Network. We got to watch and see,
Yeah.
Can they decentralize? What about regulations? And will people actually use Pi in the real world? Lots of questions.
So for our listeners, keep learning, stay involved, and don't stop asking questions.
Yeah.
Things change fast in this world.
That's fast, yeah.
Now, let's think bigger picture for a second.
Okay.
Pi Network, they're not just launching a cryptocurrency, right? They're trying to build a whole ecosystem, like a platform where you use Pi for everything, transactions, apps, a whole new digital economy.
Ambitious.
And their focus on community, it really comes into play here.
Right.
They want people to be, invested, not just financially, but emotionally. Do you think that can work? Can that drive adoption?
It's an interesting idea, for sure. If they can get people to feel like they're part of something big, like they own a piece of it.
Right.
That could be powerful. But it all depends on whether Pi can actually do what they say they're going to do.
Right.
Will developers want to build on it? Will people find real uses for Pi beyond just, the initial hype?
Yeah.
Those are the big questions.
It's like we're at a fork in the road.
Yeah, two paths ahead for Pi Network.
On one hand, you've got mainstream adoption. Pi becomes a real currency, people using it every day, tons of apps, maybe even challenging the banks.
That's the dream. That's what everyone's hoping for.
Yeah.
But there's the other path, right? The hype fades, the tech doesn't work out, the regulators say no, and Pi just disappears.
Like a ghost.
Another failed project in the crypto graveyard. We've seen it happen before, right?
Oh, yeah. Lots of projects. They start with big promises and then poof.
Gone.
So where do you think Pi's headed? Which path?
I wish I had a crystal ball, but
yeah,
it's tough to say. I mean, there's so many factors. Can the Pi team deliver? What are the regulators going to do? Will the community stick around? And, the whole crypto market, is it going to go up, go down? It's complicated.
It's like watching a big social experiment unfold. Can you build a cryptocurrency from the ground up? Yeah. Can everyday people really change the system?
I think that's what draws people to Pi, that idea that anyone can be part of something big, something that could shake things up.
It's the underdog story.
Yeah. Everybody loves an underdog.
Yeah.
But we got to be realistic. Look at Pi with a critical eye.
Yeah.
Don't let the excitement cloud your judgment. Make decisions based on facts, not emotions.
So for our listeners, you've been with us on this deep dive into Pi Network.
Yeah.
What's the final message? So it sounds like, Pi Network, it's at this crossroads, right?
Yeah.
A lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, but there are still these big questions, right?
Definitely.
So for our listeners, they've been with us this whole time. What's the takeaway?
I think the biggest thing is this. Pi Network, it's a really cool experiment.
Yeah.
It could change how we think about cryptocurrency, but you got to remember, it's an experiment. We don't know how it's going to end.
Right.
So be careful,
Yeah.
Stay informed. Keep asking questions. Don't just jump in blindly.
That's good advice. Always good advice. And, do your own research, right?
Absolutely.
Weigh the risks, weigh the rewards, and never put in more money than you can afford to lose.
Yeah, that's key.
Crypto, it's full of potential, but it can be risky.
For sure.
Stay informed, stay curious, and stay engaged.
Yeah, those are the important things.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
All that hype around Pi Network's launch, then getting into the tech, the regulations, that whole community aspect.
Yeah, we talked about the good, the bad, the potential upsides, the risks involved, KYC, those exchange listings.
Yeah.
Even those new apps being built on the Pi blockchain.
Right. And in the end, will Pi succeed? Will it fail? We just don't know yet.
Nope. It's a story that's still being written.
And that's what makes it so interesting, I think. Millions of people all over the world watching this unfold.
It's pretty fascinating. I mean, will Pi revolutionize finance? Or will it just fizzle out?
Yeah.
Either way, it's got people talking about the future of cryptocurrency, and that's important.
It is. And as technology keeps changing, we got to keep having these conversations, looking at new ideas, thinking about what's possible.
Absolutely.
But always remembering the risks, too.
True.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive in the Pi Network. We'll keep an eye on things, and if anything big happens, we'll let you know.
Sounds good.
Until then, happy mining, everyone. Stay informed, stay curious, stay engaged, and we'll catch you next time.